as we continue our journeys through the jungles of Chult, exploring the Tomb of Annihilation. Well, hoping to eventually get to the Tomb of Annihilation. Right now we are lost out in the middle of the jungle, taking care of some tasks for some of the merchant princes here. And apparently Quen is sitting on the ceiling.
Down, yeah.
Oh my god. Coming to you live from the International Space Station.
I'm a little confused at the moment, but anyhow. Sorry about that. Before we jump too far into a recap from last week, a couple of quick shout-outs to give. First, big thank you to Many-Sided Dice. They have a wonderful book, Lost Artifacts of Greygast. Use it quite frequently in our game here on Monday night. Most of our players have got an item from that book so far. There's still others out there and about to be discovered. Our party just hasn't found their locations as of yet, or hasn't been to their locations. They may or may not be aware of them already. Another big shout out to Nightshade Creations. They make a lot of wonderful accessories for your actual tabletop game. And thank you to Team Emsy. He does great support for small streamers like us. And as some of you may notice on our stream, there is I guess I'll say an unfamiliar face, as they've not quite been around in a little while. We are lucky enough to have JJ with us this evening for a little bit. So,
hey everyone.
That could be interesting, as our players didn't know he was going to be here. So let's see what that bodes for our group's adventures this evening. Oops, gotta turn that down now that I've got actually Twitch functioning. So before we get into tonight's episode, a quick rundown for what happened last time, as our group had made their way, had actually found the shield golem Vorn. And upon looking around and exploring the area, found a fairly well-used path that sort of led off in the northeast, followed it down, and came across a goblin village built up actually upon some tarps, or netting, or some strange material on the ground. They discussed for a little bit after managing to avoid the tripwires and other traps that the goblins had set out to alert them of approaching enemies. And actually, at Melik's suggestion, the group decided to try a rather elaborate ploy, with Melik altering self to basically goblinify his appearance, and treating Devaney and Tuala as basically servants to this blind goblin seer. Our druid Solana as basically a four-legged Anubis-like dog, so like a cross between a Rottweiler and a Jackal almost. And Quen casting invisibility and going into the tent with them. Through some very entertaining exchanges of words and the cry of "I love commerce," Melik managed to talk the Goblin Queen out of her control matrix for the Shield Golem by offering in trade a golden mask that they had minor illusioned the same word on, as they booked it out of the camp and headed back on their way. During camp that night, the goblins that they had tricked caught up with them. There was some battle back and forth, and the group managed to pull through, defeating all 20 of the small goblins with what can only be described as, sorry, what was it? A goblin death toilet?
Mm-hmm, that's about
as it. Melik, who cast Sleet? Was that Quen who cast the Sleet Storm?
It was Quen and Solana's spells
Quen did
together.
the Sleet Storm. and then Solana casting Control Water control the water from that storm into a whirling vortex.
Top 10 anime battles is what I was going for.
And it completely came true. It actually took out, for mechanical knowledge for our players, it actually killed 4 goblins that the players hadn't found yet.
Oh,
So while they were taking pot shots out in the darkness, nobody had line of sight on them, and they died painfully and coldly in the toilet of death. Now, before we jump into where we left off last week, there's one more thing I want to give a shout out to. It's more tied to Friday as we started a little later. But next week is actually Proficiency Bonus's 1-year anniversary of streaming. It was July 2018, July 28th, 2017, that the original group started in the Storm King's Thunder campaign. So in honor of that anniversary next week, there are going to be multiple surprises and multiple giveaways next week. One will be right here next Monday night. If you're around, I'm not going to announce anything as of yet as to what the prize is going to be for the raffle. But if you're around on Friday night, or watch on Twitter the end of this week, as I will be announcing before the stream what the prize for the raffle is going to be. Again, we have to keep in mind that there are certain areas, given we're raffling things off, that we can't ship to. We will do our best that those of you who are doing it we find a way to make it work, but keep in mind, like overseas, things like that make it a little more difficult. We have had some luck in the past. I know we've gotten things to our own Digitio, who I can see in chat already. How you doing this evening? We've gotten things, had some luck. So if you're interested, give it a shot and see what we come back with. But as a couple of DMs I know like to say, so the story is told. As our group has defeated the goblins, the evening's watch is starting to come to a close. The battle's just ended. You guys some of you are in a little rough shape, but not too horrible. And Solana, you notice the egg. Well, actually, Solana, the egg that you carry on you, as you're checking out to make sure, as you'll notice, actually, I believe it is your tent and Devonay's tent, if I remember where everybody started out last week, have been burnt to the ground.
yeah, awesome. Cool.
So,
Good thing we got a 2-person tent, right, Devonay? In the bag of Fabio.
The one that was in the stomach of the zombie ogre.
Oh.
Listen, guys, I got a nat 20. I'll make us some more tents. That's
I
what I'll use
cleaned
it
it!
on crashing.
I would like to point out that my tent was also on fire, but being smart and resourceful, I put it out with a goblin. And you should have done the same.
Well then.
Your tent did not get a fireball.
I'm gonna lie on the ground, cause I'm a druid, and that's fine with me, I guess.
Hey, we still have some of those palm branches that are not part of that parasol yet. We could sleep under those.
We could just sleep in Stephanie.
Yeah, we could.
It's like the...
you guys are
Both of those
actually
things
not
you just
at
suggested
Stephanie
are
yet.
not happening.
Oh, not back at Stephanie, okay.
No, you guys stopped midway because it took you the better part of a day to get to the village.
Okay.
As you started cutting back, it started to get late.
Okay.
As you're laying there, though, you notice the egg that you've been sitting and watching for Gizzard is starting to pulse and move.
I'm
Just-
gonna be a mommy.
Just a little shake at first.
Okay.
Then
Guys,
it
can you walk
seems
me
to-
through this?
Seems to stop as you watch it for a little while. About 10 or 15 minutes later goes by. Another little pulse and shake. And then it seems to stop.
Oh,
It's
It's okay, that happens sometimes. False alarm.
Uh, so that all of this battle and all this is happening right about the midway point of the evening. The attack came in during Melek's watch. Is there anything anyone would be doing during the remainder of the evening?
I'll pick up my axe. Well, I won't pick it up. I'll summon my axe that I threw over across the field. And I'll just let the light spell wear out on it. And find a nice place to sleep out until my watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna trance.
Camilla's gonna go back to his very intact tent by himself, with not sharing it. Go back to sleep.
Okay. Quen, Twala, anything you would be doing?
I scraped Goblin off of my tent and put it back together.
It's at the moment it's giving quite a lovely odor of charred goblin if you're in the mood for some goblin flesh.
Most predators don't care for cooked meat. It will keep them away. This is a good smell.
I just true, I guess.
Tuala, you and Gizzard would get along just fine.
What is a gizzard?
Who is a gizzard?
It's whom.
Oh, who?
Why is a gizzard?
Okay, inspiration right there.
Who's on first?
Oh my god, I was praying for that moment. Oh.
Alright.
Okay,
I forgot what we were talking about.
Goblin meat.
Goblin, yes.
Drop. Okay. Alright, so I'm trancing. Everyone else is doing their stuff. I'm keeping the egg real close to me though.
okay. So as you're trancing, let's say almost like every half hour or so, you get another slight vibration from the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing earth-shattering or like really rocking, just a small something. It's
Okay.
an odd sort of sensation for you.
Yes, because I don't give birth to eggs. Ever.
Quen, anything you'd be doing during your watch, or
No, Quen's not doing anything particularly eventful during his watch.
okay? So, Quen, you start to notice on your watch, given how well you rolled during it, the weather is starting to turn. It's starting to rain a little heavier. It looks like it's going to be a potentially a rough day.
Oh great, this is a manifestation of my soul.
As your watch comes to a close and Devanay takes over. Devanay, you seem a little distracted this evening for some reason. Anything in specific you'll be doing during your watch? Just...
It must be keeping an eye on Solana and the egg.
Oh, okay. So, again, she's sort of curled up as much under cover of tree canopy and bush as she could find, given the lack of serviceable tents at the moment. And again, much like Quen, you notice the weather is starting to turn. The rain is starting to come down heavier. And again, much like Solana's feeling, every little while you see the egg start to give almost like a little quake. It doesn't look like you'd expect something that necessarily hatching, but you're definitely seeing something is going a little funny. And as you're focused so much on this, you're not paying as much attention to the weather and to your surroundings as you usually do. Probably in part is you can tell just by the overcast sky and the heavy rain that there's not going to be a clear sunrise today. As your watch starts to come to an end, and you start looking around a little more, you notice the tents are actively being blown almost sideways. They're still solid. The winds have picked up. The rain is coming down at about a 45-degree angle. You can see points of Melek's tent, the doors flapping open, a little bit of water trickling in. Tuala's, a couple of smoldering points on the back of it from where the burnt goblin is, or you can see water dripping down to the couple of small tears at that point. It's weather is, much as Quen had a feeling during his watch, weather is definitely not your friend today. As the rest of you start to come to consciousness, the day is yours as you come into an extremely wet day.
Could be worse. Could be raining.
You know it is, right? Well, I guess we're not going anywhere today.
Oh, we could. We could go back and towards the construct thing. It would just be slow and wet.
Better than standing here without a tent. Wet.
Well, we
Yeah,
just
honestly-
force our way into somebody else's tent.
Yeah, that's true. Malik, how much room do you have? Give me an egg. Malik. Give me an egg. Come on.
Yes, I see. Okay, okay, it would make me more comfortable if we at least went back.
Can I need the
to
little
where-
spoon?
No. Okay.
Aw. Do you want to be the little spoon?
1 second. It would make. I'll consider it. I'll consider it for a second if we can at least just get back to where Stephanie's at and we can remake camp there or whatever, and I'll think about it while we're walking.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have the canoe to carry all the way back.
No. We have to get back to
I
Stephanie.
know, but usually when we're trying to walk in the rain, we have the canoe to carry.
That's true. So yeah, okay. We're gonna do it then.
Who doesn't like a nice stroll in a tropical storm?
Anything for my girl Stephanie. Let's do it.
Stephanie is going to hand out stones with the light spell cast on them so we don't lose each other.
Why do we need these? We can all see each other.
And it's raining pretty hard, it might get worse.
Oh, okay. Ooh, can I use my new spell to divert water away from my head? Or is that just a giant leap to oh plot? Okay. I'll just hold on to the relic.
We can't hear you. You're muted, I think.
Oh no.
I can hear.
Not you.
No, it's me.
Oh.
Wouldn't be proficiency bonus if Matt wasn't talking without anyone hearing. So as yeah, you
I will
honestly
not
for
cast that
if you
spell.
really want to use the spell slot to make yourself a little, Sue Storm, invisible umbrella, I'm more than happy to let you burn it.
No, I will
How about
not. Don't
instead?
worry.
I do have 6 panels of the 8 panels of that umbrella already done, so I can hand one of those out to everybody to make little umbrellas for at least a little bit of cover,
I'll take
just
a
until we get to the place.
leaf panel.
So who is leading the trek back?
I'll leave their truck back.
And Quen will assist.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Wow.
Nice.
I know
Hey,
where
you
I'm
can't
going.
see more than 100 feet in front of you, but somehow you are just laser focused. Melek's love for Stephanie is just a
Guiding
beacon
me.
guiding you.
Passion.
So as you guys start making your way, it's only a few hours worth of travel. So you expect to get back to Stephanie. What I need you to all do for me is go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Stephanie's like a Sheila in Australian terms. You know, we just call weird stuff things.
Okay. So, as you are, as you guys are traveling along, the entire party is going to end up taking 1 level of exhaustion, with Solana and Melik taking 2.
Yeah.
Even with a 21?
Solana and Melik. Solana rolled a 9 and Melik rolled a 9.
Oh, okay, I see. Never mind.
Yeah, so for everyone else, any travel at all during the storm is automatically 1. The con save is to take a second.
-2. What does that mean? I get like negative on everything?
Okay, so let me double check exhaustion, because I know you've hit the 2nd level before. You just don't ever remember it. Okay, so first level for the majority of the party is disadvantage on all ability checks. 2nd level for you and Melik is speed is halved. So
Now I can't leave the party.
it's slow going anyway.
Okay.
So as you're traveling along, again, hours go by. Given your past perceptions, you and the light spell being cast on these stones, you don't really have any problem, keeping an eye on each other.
Good.
But instead of the expected, 3 to 4 hours you were thinking it would take you to get back to your little encampment where you had hidden Stephanie off to the side, it's taken you closer to 7 or 8 at this point.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's been a rough go for you guys getting there. Throughout the time, do me a favor, Slot. I want you to go ahead and make 3 perception checks for me. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay, so throughout the midday point, as you're sort of watching and, again, guiding the party where to go, but at the same point, specifically keeping an eye on this egg, given the recent motion you've felt from within it. You notice that it does seem to be speeding up a little bit. It's what started out is every half hour during your watch. It's not changing in leaps and bounds.
Okay.
A couple of hours go by. Now it's 25, 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, I have it
Then
strapped on the
another
front of me,
few hours.
so I'm going. Everyone, feel it! Come on, put your hand on my tummy. I go backwards.
I do not wish to do that.
How big is
It's
this egg?
moving! Joella, you're witnessing the miracle of life, and you're missing it.
The egg itself is probably the size of roughly a large watermelon.
Yes, start confirming.
It's rather, think of it like carrying a 3 or 4 year old child. It's probably about 2.5, 3 feet tall.
Yes, I carry around my dog like that. Don't laugh at me.
Considering the fantastic nature of this universe, I had it in my head that it was literally ostrich size. So it's like, how are you carrying it in front of you? Can you even see or walk?
Yes, it's huge.
Yeah, when Gizzard left you guys and abandoned the group, he gave Solana his, I believe it was leatherworking tools that he had.
I think so. I don't
She
know.
used those
I don't
to,
know, but I do.
yeah,
Yeah,
she used those to make the sort of holster. So as you guys continue along your way, and you get to the point where you've hid Stephanie off to the side. And the actual shield construct is probably about another 150 to 300 feet away. But as you're looking, given the storm, it's very difficult to see much down in that area. It's a little further down the path and sort of around a little bit of a bend. It's up to you guys what you choose to do at this point. You're coming up right next to Stephanie.
Can we flip Stephanie over and make her like a houseboat?
We're right next to her?
You're right next to the point, basically that hidden wall of vines and leaves that Solana and you guys had crafted with that one solitary purple flower.
Oh, Melik is like very slowly and very just pathetically trying to dig through the plants to get to Stephanie at this point. Just like, baby, I'm back. I'm coming. I don't know how long that's going to take him to dig through it by hand, but that's where he's at right now.
Well, okay, so what are everyone else doing while this is going on?
I lean over to Devonay and I say, he is talking about the boat, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Devonay will dig out her short sword and alongside Melik start carefully cutting away vines and try not to scratch Stephanie, but I'm hoping it'll be a little bit quicker than just Melik and his hands.
I don't have anything that can slash. I'm so helpless.
And I'm sorry, I have to interrupt for a moment and just say, yes, Digitio, you are correct. Melik and Stephanie is still a better love story than Twilight. So as our group is starting to dig their way into this little nook where they set up Stephanie, keep her safe and out of harm's way, we're going to disappear for a few moments.
Oh no.
And we find ourselves, unbeknownst to anyone involved, over 500 miles away to the east in Chalt.
Oh wait, is we really doing this?
Oh.
Well, that's night stuff. That's good.
It's a little
It's
movie
official.
magic there, kids.
We've gone high quality. As 500 miles to the east, a group of wandering lizard folk are currently looking with some manner of a cross between a melancholy, a very sort of sad celebratory event, as the tribe is celebrating the feasting. As we find Gizzard, after being dragged away all those many weeks ago, finds himself back after this death curse has claimed the life of the tribe shaman. And the oldest of the surviving tribe of lizard folk. They have planned the grand ceremonial services for the shaman Rylashik Forgive me if I'm bludgeoning names here. Lizard folk, not my first tongue. It's different nests, the different tribes in the region have all come together to celebrate the passing and to elect a new leader. As Gizzard, you have been brought in to this ceremonial hall. And around you, you see leaders of the 3 of the other nests, all looking expectantly at you as one of the 2 who had been escorting you sort of ushers you a little forward. Speak to them. They're waiting for you.
Gizzard gives a nod. And I go up to speak to whoever I'm speaking to.
As you take a couple of steps forward and you look across the different individuals, on your left you can see a very almost ancient looking lizard folk. A deep scar gashed on the right side of the face. Looks like 2 vertical, almost 2 slashes along over the eye. Milky white cataract focuses the one good eye sort of wobbling a little as it looks back over and for you. Next to this individual is a much lighter scaled lizard folk. A few years your senior, but not known for being the most even-minded among the different nests. Doesn't see much use for the soft people beyond the occasional meal. He comes from a more war-driven nest that is seeking to take their place among the top of the food chain amongst many of the larger lizards in the land. And then the third to your right is someone you recognize from your younger years with your tribe. It's as much as the shaman led this tribe, this individual was responsible for, we'll call it, educating the younglings. She was almost, we'll say it takes a village to raise a child, the communal teacher. It was she who taught you much of the ways of the jungle, hunting, and to some extent some of the combat training you had. As these 3 individuals focus and look at you, the younger one in the middle speaks first. Well, it seems you have finally returned.
I am here. Stand there picking my teeth.
As you have no doubt been advised, Radlishik has passed, the forefather of your own brood. It is time for a new leader to be chosen. And
As this one tells me, you are blood. And they are pushing for you to take their reins.
The frills on Gizzard's neck just kind of flare out a little bit.
I do not consider myself capable enough yet.
You see the young one sort of almost grin and look at the elder to your left, and just again with that half grin, sort of smile and nod as your teacher turns to you.
Why do you say this? You have his blood. You have been taught all we know.
My journey through the world has taught me many things. But there are still things I can learn from the other races that I travel with. I am not ready yet.
And what of the nest while you travel? What of your own people?
I am sure the three of you are more capable to come up with a solution than me.
She looks between the three of them. You hear some very sort of hushed, quiet muttering between them. The younger one speaks up again and looks at you. And again, that same sort of half smirk.
If you will not take the position, then we will find one worthy. But you will remain for the feasting, yes?
I would not miss such an event.
Wonderful. The feasting will be tomorrow evening. So, take your time, relax. And then, when the feasting is done, do what you will. I will ensure the nest's safety.
Gizzard just cocks his head a little bit.
Say who?
Gizzard just cocks his head a little bit and the frills on his neck just return down. He walks away.
As you start to walk away again, you hear the muttered musings in between the group of them. And as you're leaving, you get a strange sort of pulse from the egg you've been carrying with you.
Just rub it gently. It's attached to my back because I got it in that satchel thing, right?
Yeah, you had made one of the satchels, and unbeknownst to you, someone else had copied your design.
Alright.
Is anything you'd be seeking to do around the nest, waiting for the celebration?
Just sitting there quietly, kind of contemplating, just mulling over my time with the party that I spent in the jungle and all the things I've learned over my travels. And getting ready to eat, of course.
As a couple of hours goes by, and that same older individual with the two scars over the eye comes and sits down beside you.
You should be careful. That one means you know goodwill.
Of this I am certain.
He means to take the nest from you and your seat. And if you leave, you hand it to him.
It is what I must do. For the betterment of our people.
I hope you are right. If not, there may not be a people left for you to return to.
That is a risk I have to take myself.
If you must do as you must. We have a short while before the feasting. I feel I must rest before the celebration.
Just sort of gets up and grumbles their way away. Makes their way, disappears into one of the small huts and seems to go about their business for the day. As the day comes to a close and
Hello.
the next morning or midday rolls through, again, you're experiencing a lot of what Solana was coming from the egg. Every once in a while you get a slight shake and a pulse from it. It's strange, as you've been around eggs before and you've never known one to sort of pulse like this. You've seen them shake, you've seen them crack when things are being born, but this sort of weird energy you're feeling from it is a little disconcerting.
Sitting with it in between my legs, and I'm just kind of clutching it and like tapping my claws on the shell of the egg.
What are you?
As you're sort of rubbing it and running your hands over it as you ask it that, you get another sort of pulse feeling through your hand. As the sun starts to set, or not really set, but come down a little ways in the sky. It's getting to be late afternoon. And the feasting is beginning. You can see in the central point of the village and encampment, massive, long tables have been spread out. Small, round stool seats near the ground. Some of the younglings are running around and playing. The adults you can see starting to cluster off into different groups. And in the dead center, on a massive pyre sitting there is, or was, the shaman. As laid out, prepared for the tribe, prepared for the feasting. You can see those same three individuals taking up central points, two on either side and one behind the shaman, calling out to the group, calling out to everyone to come to attention. And you hear the younger speak forward again, calling to everyone within earshot.
As you have heard, Gizzard has declined to take over as shaman, as he feels he is not prepared to lead. So we have decided that the three of us will form a tribunal and lead until such time, if Gizzard returns, he feels prepared. As such, we would like to invite Gizzard to step forward and take his place as one of the first to enjoy the feasting with us.
Wizard steps up to the table where the body of the shaman is laying down. Just looks down over him.
I am sure you have many things left to teach me. But you are gone. But through this feasting, you will be with all of us.
I put my hand underneath his chin and raise it just a little bit and lean down and bite into his jugular.
Okay. So as you reach down and bite into it, you can hear some scattered muted applause and cheers as it seems the feasting is getting underway. The three above you, including this younger lizard folk, come down and take a couple of bites. People start coming up. We won't get too graphic for the younger viewers. Suffice to say, the party is going quite well. There is much reminiscing of his life and the things he's done for the nest. There's more than a few people that, as you're making your journeys, start to spread rumors, conspiracy, murder, much like when any political figure passes. As you're walking away, though, and you're looking, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Okay, as you're looking around, you've noticed that from when you bit into, took your bite, it's a little bit, you weren't quite as neat as you've been in the past, and a little bit of spray. You know, it's just a little bit of blood on the egg. Just sitting stationary. It's not running down it. It seems to be sitting there.
Take my finger and try to wipe the blood off the egg.
Okay. So as you start wiping it off, the egg starts to get warm. It's now pulsing with some strange energy. Starting to give off a slight glow to it.
Am I still at this feasting?
You're still within the basic confines of the village, so to speak.
Alright, this is the point. This is the point I'd like to leave.
Okay, where you heading out to?
Something to do. Just out into the jungle, away.
Oh, okay.
Leaving.
So as you start throwing this and you start to... Bogut, you hear a couple of people calling to you a little bit from the background. As you continue to go, you start getting the strange sense as you go out into the jungle about 50 feet away from you or so, there's a rather large, very ancient-looking tree that you feel, for some reason, strangely drawn to.
I'm gonna grab the straps of my egg backpack and pulse up to the tree. I just put my hand on it, run my claws down the trunk.
So as you reach out and touch the tree, you feel a surge of energy pour through your back, down into your arms, and the front of the tree cracks and rips itself open.
Just another surprise, Gizzard just takes a few steps back. His frills on his neck flare up.
As you sort of stare into it, it looks like it's a path.
Looks over both shoulders. See if any of the brood are watching. It's gonna slowly and carefully step into the tree.
Okay. So as you take a couple of steps forward, get 2 or 3 feet in, and behind you, you hear "Ah!" as the tree has sealed itself behind you. And with that, we will disappear some 500 miles westward, as Gizzard has found his way into a tree. And at this point, and I thought his time skip not the strongest point for me, at this point, Melik and Devaney have managed to dig their way into Stephanie, assuming that everyone has gone along with Solana's plan. Stephanie has sort of been propped up on stilts to make a makeshift sort of house roof. So some of you can sort of get some semblance of cover from this torrential rain. And it's about mid-afternoon for you guys at this point. You've got everything set up. You know that the brain freeze. You know that the shield guardian is a little further ways down the path, sort of around a corner. What would you guys like to do?
Plan, why don't you play with the shield guardian while we wait? Put it on your head. Just like, think of things.
I'm like, just bring it over here.
Yeah.
That was more out of context, because Melik is definitely asleep. Like, 2 levels of exhaustion. I think he's just out cold.
Yeah, I know you couldn't figure it out last time, but maybe playing around with it just over there, and I'll point in whatever direction. Maybe you can figure it out.
When do you have exhaustion too?
Everyone's got 1 level, but only you and Melik have 2.
I'm feeling a little tired. I mean, I could take a look at it. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
So Quen will go over to where the statue is,
Oh, okay.
and
So
will.
go ahead and make a perception check for me as you're starting to head over that way.
How far away from us is the shield guardian?
Like 300, 350 feet. It's sort of down and around a corner a little ways.
Tuala will go with him then, so he's not going off by himself.
Yeah, and Devaney was meaning just check out the amulet, because I remember last time he wasn't able to figure it out, but maybe she wasn't clear on that point.
Okay, Tuala, as you're heading out to follow along with Quen, go ahead and make a perception check for me as well.
Okay.
Alrighty then. So as you guys walk up. You get a good, say, probably 3/4 of the way up there before you guys notice in the rain groups of creatures huddled around this shield guardian. Quen, you very easily recognize, well, and Tuala, you as well, very easily recognize a small group of Grung and a small group of the Batari goblins with their wooden masks on.
Uh-oh.
You also see a small, what looks to be a cluster of almost humanoid creatures that are just covered with vines and moss. It's hard to get a clear read of what they are.
No.
Okay. Can I see what they're doing?
They all appear to be, in the best way that you can describe it from what you're looking at, is venerating the statue, the shield guardian.
Ah. Looks like we've walked in on church. Maybe we should come back later.
Perhaps. Or you could put on the magic necklace and punch a bunch of them with the robot man.
I'd rather not steal their god idol right in front of their eyes.
Why not?
Because they might get mad at me.
No, they might get mad at the god.
I say to the spirit of Solana, who might be in my head.
Solana, who are you talking to?
No one.
You hear something I can't?
My egg, I'm really tired, guys. I'm just talking to your egg.
I think we should come back later. I don't like particularly those big viney guys.
Perhaps.
Plus, I'm tired, and I don't want to fight anymore today. I just want to take a big nap in Stephanie.
Perhaps I will stay behind at a time and try to observe what they are doing here.
Well, don't hurt yourself. If you see anything funny, come right back.
Of course.
Quan will give him a little hug and then walk off.
I stand there for a while after he walks away.
Oh, okay, you try
the hug.
standing up.
No, so I'll try to like sort of conceal myself in the undergrowth a little bit, and just keep an eye on them for a while to see if I can see what they're doing, or if they leave or do anything different.
Oh, okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for me there if you're trying to conceal yourself.
She says shortly before rolling a 1 and knocking over a nearby tree.
Not horrible. Not wonderful, but not horrible. So as you're sitting there and you watch for about 10-15 minutes, you notice that the closest group to you, those strange creatures covered in the moss and vines, one of them sort of turns and makes eye contact with you. Doesn't move, doesn't really react, just makes eye contact, and then turns and goes back to... You watch as it walks up and takes a small item and puts it in one of the bowls in front of the shield guardian, then goes back to its position.
Okay. I see this, and I sort of go very still for a moment and prepare for great violence. But as it does not do anything to reveal my presence that I can tell, I
take no further action and continue to watch.
It seems like they're all just sort of focused on whatever this, however they see this shield guardian. Solana, you on the other hand, you're feeling this pulsing in the egg. It's getting stronger.
Guys, pulse and the egg's getting a little stronger.
It's getting much warmer to the touch.
Divinity shuffles over a little bit away from Solana.
No, come here, help. It's warm.
I'm watching out. I don't want it to explode on me and you.
It's a good. Okay, I can't be sure that it won't explode, but feel it, it's warm now.
Divinity will reach over as far as she can get her body away, but still reach over and touch the egg.
See, it's warm.
It's warm, yes. And she'll move away a little bit more, but still be under the canoe.
Do you think it's like a bomb? Like, do I even know what a bomb is?
You know what a fireball is, and that's not good.
Okay. Maybe I should pick a tent and get away from Stephanie, so it doesn't explode Stephanie.
Yeah, maybe.
No, look, give me your tent. Now, look, do you want me to explode Stephanie or not?
I think he's sleeping.
I'm gonna take Malik's tent. And like go like 10 yards in the other direction and just like set up this tent by myself and just like huddle there with my egg. Like all alone and like pouting.
Malik, would you have your tent hidden or would it be pretty accessible in your back?
Oh no, it's very accessible. It's not a situation. He's very happy with Stephanie. Stephanie is all he needs at this point.
Exactly.
You have no problem slipping the tent out, getting it set up. I should say it's a little difficult getting it set up, but
yeah, I abandoned.
As you sort of sit down and relax, and you're feeling this strange pulsing energy pouring out of the egg. It's putting more and more energy out. And as you're looking around, the egg seems to be trying to draw you to something, but it's having trouble finding a target. You get the feeling that it's trying to lead you somewhere. But it's like a compass with a magnet above it. It's just spinning.
Okay. I stand up and I like pet the egg. I'm like, are you okay, baby? What's wrong?
And you get the pulsing now. The energy's coming quicker.
Okay. So the egg is confused, and I'm confused about the egg. This is quite the conundrum here.
Solana, you've been really quiet. Are you okay?
The egg is pulsating and trying to tell me something. But I might be hallucinating because I'm really tired.
Well, why don't you come out here? Maybe a fresh of breath air will clear your mind.
Yeah, it's like pretty warm in here, I guess, so I'll go back out under Stephanie and I'll be like, Stephanie, touch it again.
As you're walking over to towards Stephanie, you watch as the rain is hitting the egg, and it's starting to evaporate.
Uh-oh. This is like producing like...
It's warm against you, but it seems to be that it's got points on it that are at the top that are not against your body, that are much warmer.
This has its own climate system, Devaney. It's like evaporating.
Yeah,
rain.
I can see the steam.
Yes, it's a miracle.
Stay over there.
I don't know what this is, but I don't think it's a Bob Dylan. Maybe it's another Bob Dylan. I shouldn't presume. You can be whoever you want to be. So, I'm gonna go walk under the Stephanie again. I guess.
Oh, okay. As you walk under Stephanie, you're getting that same sort of spinning sensation, but now it is active. It seems to be focusing and trying to pull you west.
I say I'm gonna take a jaunt west.
If you want me to come with you.
Yes, please.
Has Quinn returned yet from the trip to the statue?
Yeah, it's only it didn't take Quinn and Tuala long to walk. About this time, as you guys have been going back and forth as they wandered off and talked, Quinn's probably coming back.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Quinn know where we're going because Melik's apparently still sleeping.
We're just gonna head a little off. It's like labor pains right here. We're just walking it off. It'll be fine.
Labor pains? Oh no. Should we fill up Stephanie with water? Do you need to sit in a tub?
I think we'll be okay. It's just an egg.
Oh, the egg.
Yeah.
Right. We have an egg. Silly me. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We just have to be careful. There's some interesting groups of Batari-type goblins and some other stuff worshipping the idol right now. So I thought it was rude if, we just made it walk in front of them.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with Solana and not leaving her by herself. And the egg. And I'll take Solana's arm and okay, Solana, let's go.
Okay.
You guys go out walking for about 5, almost 10 minutes, and sort of coming on the path, Solana, you're feeling this pulling you forward more and more. The pulses.
I can't hear you. You went deaf. Or mute. Or I went deaf. I can't hear you still. Nope.
Oh, hey, I can hear you now.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Hey, Discord, I hate you. I have no idea where I lost you guys. Or rather, where I disappeared, so.
Right when you started describing walking for 10 minutes.
So as you're going, the egg is heating up. It's getting to the point it is almost uncomfortable against your skin.
Okay.
And as you're moving forward, you see about 50 or 60 feet in front of you, just off the path, sort of in the underbrush, a rather stern, stationary Genasi barbarian just staring forward at, from this distance to you, what looks to be almost a row of heavy vegetation. And as you feel the egg pulling you closer, you can tell that it's not vegetation, it's a wall of humanoid creatures that are just covered in plant life. They've got moss and vines from your angle behind. It's strange. And then another, as you're getting a little closer, you notice on the far ends of this group of them, 2 very strange looking, what almost look to be like bramble bushes or thorn bushes. But they're moving.
I'm gonna stop. Cause that's not good. Do they look threatening?
Right now they seem to be focusing solely on the Shield Guardian.
Okay.
But as you and Devonay come to a stop, you feel yourself being urged forward. The egg pulling you to go that same direction, trying desperately to get somewhere.
Like past them or to them?
Am I aware of them behind me?
Yeah, you guys didn't say you were going stealthily, so yeah, you're probably, as they're getting a little closer to you, you can probably catch them coming up the back.
Just hold up one hand and turn slightly and go.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
offerings to the statue bad.
Why do I pass them? The egg demands it from me.
As you say that, and Devaney and Twala, go ahead and make perception checks. Okay, Devaney, you notice this. Unfortunately, Twala, you do not. Devaney, as you're standing right beside Solana, as you're watching and listening to this conversation, you watch as the egg sort of pulses again with this strange sort of green energy. But as before it had been almost giving off a wave, you watch as this pulse seems to be directed solely into the torso of Solana.
Solana, did you see that?
See what?
It went green and it pulsed and went to you.
No,
Did
but
you
I
feel
have to go
something
that way.
weird? No, I looked at it and it went into you.
Well, I have to go that way. That way?
That's weird. No, the egg pulsed and it went green and like
No,
the
but it's
energy that
warm.
is
I felt
it
the
went-
pulse, but it's warm. It's
and
green.
it
It's
was
green.
green. It was green.
It went into me.
Mhm.
Oh Jesus.
Do you feel weird?
Oh well, Mater. No. A little weird. Now I'm weird. Are you weird? Am I high?
No.
Where are we? Who are you?
Solana,
Yeah.
you're okay.
Okay. Thanks so much.
I do not know that she is okay. She seems decidedly not okay.
Sometimes you just have to lie to people you love, Twala.
What? You're
This
lying.
group has a strange relationship with inanimate objects.
Why?
What's my inanimate object?
Well, you had an adamant object. That's like. You're a dragon baby. That's different.
He was cute, okay?
Yeah.
So as you guys are having this conversation, Solana, once more you feel this burning drive pulling you now from where you're located slightly more to the northwest. You can see what appears to be a rather large tree just off in the distance.
Alright.
But as you're looking to where Twala is pointing off on these creatures, and I'm going to say, Ms. Producer, if you can follow the bouncing player flag
Sure.
as we find ourselves in a new realm.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully everybody has visibility.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. Okay, so Stephanie's upstairs. Alright.
So you and Devaney and Tuala are currently right over here. And as you can see just off in the distance, you can see a rather large gathering of various individuals.
Oh, okay.
And you are getting a strong pull from somewhere over in this vicinity.
I'm gonna cast without a tree and try to stealth over there as much as I can.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and make a stealth check.
Devaney will stealth as well.
Okay. Oh, very nice roll. Two very nice rolls. Okay, so
Leaving me behind.
You can stealth too. Good job.
so let's see here.
Out of
Okay.
character, that's the highest roll I think I've seen not get yet in the show.
So
Yep.
as you guys head over to that direction, and again, you find what looks to be a fairly young tree Looks to be about 2.5, 3 feet wide. It's not a massive tree as you've come to see in the jungle, but it is. The egg seems to be pulling you towards it.
Okay. I'm gonna go like right here, because that's my 35 feet of movement.
Okay. That puts you easily within 2 or 3 feet of the tree.
Okay, and I kind of like, even though it's on my stomach, I kind of hold the egg towards the tree, I guess?
Okay. So I'll say go ahead and make a wisdom check. As you're holding the, or I should say wisdom saving throw, sorry.
Oh, wisdom saving throw. Oh,
Yeah.
there's the same number.
Okay. So as you sort of reach out, and again, feeling that same sort of pulsing energy pouring through, but as your hands touch the side of the egg and you sort of lift it from its carrier and hold it up, the moment the egg hits the tree, a shock wave of green energy pulses from within the egg. I'll say go ahead and make a dexterity save.
Oh yeah, great. Look at those two. So good.
Okay. So as you watch, and Twala and Devaney, you see this in almost slow motion. As Solana's pulled the egg out and touched it to the tree, the shockwave emanates out, and Solana, you're actually knocked back 5 feet.
Okay,
As you're knocked back and are falling, you lose grasp of the egg.
No!
The tree behind it is split up the middle of it and bows outwards as you watch as the egg doesn't fall.
What?
The egg is suspended, floating about 3 feet in the air. And the tree, the bottom of the tree, the roots, everything looks fine to you as you're sort of picking yourself up off the ground.
Seems fine.
Mechanically, you take 3 points of damage as you're thrown to the ground by the shockwave.
Thanks.
Sort of dusting yourself off, and you can see as you look past the egg and the tree, about a foot after the roots, it bows out to about 3.5 feet wide, then meets back up about 6 feet higher up the tree. As you stare deep into the tree, you can see movement in the distance.
Can I like grab the egg at all, or is it just suspended like there?
At the moment, it's just floating a few feet in front of you.
Okay, I kinda put my back next to it because I still want to protect it, and I take my bow out and I ready it towards the thing in the distance, and I go deafening. Something's coming.
I draw my spear. Did the grung and the other creatures notice any of this happening?
Well, let's take a
Oh
quick
no,
peek here. So,
you wouldn't.
that is a wonderful question.
Yeah. Great question.
Let's see. So, you, well, actually, I'll say that they'll notice that. Let's check. I got one other look at. Okay, come on. Old 20's not loving me.
Everything's fine.
Okay. There we go. So, yes, they don't seem to notice you and Devaney.
Oh no.
But you notice as the plant creatures and the grung both turn and look at this suspended egg and airborne druid. They don't seem to be making any moves towards you as of yet. But they have definitely taken notice, and the two closest to this tree out of each group are now not paying attention to the shield guardian or looking over at Solana and the egg.
Guys, just
Solana,
get my body on the way back. I'll be okay.
Solana, the image is coming closer to you. It looks strangely reptilian. And as we switch to another view, Gizzard, there is now a light at the end of your tunnel. And in the tunnel, as you can see this strange opening appearing in front of you, you see what appears to be your egg floating in the middle of this 6-foot-tall doorway.
How did you get there?
Stick my hand out, duck underneath the doorway, because I'm just a little bit too tall for it.
How did you... Wait, what? Who is this? What's happening?
Do I have, am I within 10 feet of the tree if I'm, like, right behind Solana?
Yes.
So there's, like, a lizard man emerging from the tree?
There is a lizard man emerging from the tree.
Can I yell, tree demon,
No!
and try and hit him with the back end of my, glaive?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Welcome back, JJ. Here's a punch to the face.
Yeah.
That is equal to my armor class, that will hit.
Go ahead and roll damage.
And at the same time this is going on, Devaney will not shout, but say very loudly, Gizzard, stop! Just to everybody.
I'll say, I'll say, Chihuahua, you stop that, and I'll slap his hand. I'll slap his hand with his blade.
So as Gizzard walks through, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Gizzard, as you've seen your egg, you sort of duck under. All of a sudden, you hear Tree Demon in the shaft end of some large wooden pole jabs you up in the face.
Frills on Gizzard's neck flare up and he starts hissing.
I slap Chihuahua. That's Gizzard. You stop that.
Wait. It is you.
Gizzard,
What are you
why
doing
are you in
here?
the tree? Why are you after my egg? And why the hell did you leave? And I slap him in the face.
Solana, it was Gizzard's egg first.
No.
He gave it to me, and then I gave it to you.
Shut up, Stephanie. That's the only time I'm gonna be rude to you because you're so nice. But I'm still gonna slap Gizzard in the face.
I am extremely confused.
Well, this is Gizzard. Remember I mentioned it this morning.
Why did you come out of a tree?
How do I slap
I
Gizzard
have
in the face?
no idea.
If you want to slap him in the face, that would be a strength check,
Oh,
basically.
strength check. Even better.
Yeah, 1d20 plus your strength mod.
No, you're like unhittable now. I'm gonna thorn whip him or something. Oh! Nothing.
I would, I do want to
Solana
keep
is
an eye on these guys.
flailing and as this reunion is happening, where you're sort of paying the most attention at the moment, Dwala, you notice that a couple of these, starting to see now, Solana is flailing around making noise. You're shouting attack. Gizzard shock. You seem to be drawing a little more attention to yourselves.
So I'll like elbow Solana and gesture towards them coming towards us.
Okay.
We have attention. Run or fight.
Gizzard, do you want to run or fight?
I am very confused. How did I get here?
Where
Why
were
is the
you?
egg floating?
I
And
don't
who
know,
is
the
this soft one that hit me in the face?
He's our new friend, Twala. Be nice to him. Don't eat him. Yeah, don't eat him. And then, it's your fault you left. I don't know where you were. You didn't tell us, did you?
There's
you
something
already know?
about the eggs. They seem to wanted to reconnect. The egg drew Solana here, and maybe your egg drew you to where you ended up.
In a tree, which is really weird. Weirder than me.
Soft one.
Tuala, he does that a lot. Just get used to it.
Yeah, don't take it seriously because he'll call everyone on something. Just, if you die, he'll eat your corpse. Whatever.
Yeah.
Where
it's true
were
enough.
you?
I went back home.
And you went to him. Be more mysterious. Okay, fine. Be that way. I hug him.
Stand there, arms like glued to the side.
I hug you and
Devaney will turn to Tuala and say, well, if we fight them... If we don't fight them, will they follow us back to our camp?
You really have a camp?
Or are they just curious? And
Sure. I can turn invisible now, guys.
So again, I gesture as they like continue to move closer.
Devaney, do you want me to giant gorilla?
Whatever we do, it is time to make a decision. Run or fight.
well, let's run back to camp so that we have more people to help us fight.
But what about the egg?
Grab it.
As you're watching, the tree is starting to knit itself back together.
Can I grab the egg?
Certainly tries. Reach up and grab it.
Okay.
Again, you get that same very warm, strange sensation to it. It now seems to be pulling you towards the back of Gizzard, where his egg is.
Okay. What's up with your egg, Gizzard? Maybe we should talk about this later. I'm gonna grab my
Let's go
egg.
back to camp. So if the people that are following us, people used very loosely here, we can fight back at camp where we have more people.
Who is following?
Because it's gonna whip around, see all these creatures.
Let's go.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just pull out, run. I grab the egg and run. Can I grab the egg? I tried. I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Well, yes, sir. You can grab the egg. That sounds fun.
Muted again. So yeah, the further you get from Gizzard, the more you get that pull to turn around.
Okay. I turn around. Actually, I run back and I grab the egg.
Well, no, you have the egg.
Oh, I had the egg.
Yeah, as you grab the egg and you go to take off running,
Oh,
you get about 5 or 6 feet in front of Gizzard, and you can feel it urging you to go back to where the other egg is.
Gizzard, you have to like link arms or something.
Well, I can run very fast, so I hope you can keep up.
Oh, I forgot you're linking.
I'm gonna start dashing
I'm a really bad mood right now.
at a speed of 90 feet.
As Gizzard takes off running, all you can feel is this urging to catch up with him, and you're exhausted. There is no way you're going to keep up with him.
Tune in Fridays where my monk can run faster than Gizzard's monk.
Is it like that? Is it like that lizard that runs on water where he just like takes off running and his legs are like
It is now.
It's official. It's canon.
nice.
Alright, I'm gonna be like 10 feet behind him every time because I can run 35 feet.
I'm
You can
bringing
run
rear.
18 feet because of your level 2 exhaustion.
Ah! That's
So as you're running to catch up to him, you're watching as the four that seemed interested in the group of you are sort of following along behind you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna like little
I'm gonna
bit
stay.
again.
So I'm gonna keep myself between Solana and the oncoming guys, just sort of like backing down the trail, menacing them with my glaive.
It's at this point Gizzard doesn't realize where it's going.
I mean, Stephanie took off already, so you can just follow her.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I can call lightning because it's storming and I can make it more. So.
Are you guys coming or what?
No, it's really far and I'm really tired and I'm just gonna lightning bolt you guys, I think.
Are these distances accurate?
For the most part, if you haven't moved, if you've been standing right by the tree, things are sort of collapsing around you.
Alright, so the distance to the Stephanie, is that accurate?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, because you guys are in sort of the thick of it now, where the group had
I'm there
gone
in
before.
6 seconds.
So yeah, that's just about right. So yeah, you could easily make it there and just boom.
Alright, beautiful.
So what we'll do is you guys have started to make your way back. Gizzard and Devaney easily taking off, heading back that way. Tuala with you sort of keeping your back to the group and sort of menacing these. Devaney heading back. And Solana, you said you're going to be casting down Call Lightning?
No, I shouldn't. I should wait till we make a group decision to fight against like 15 of these things. Probably. Although now I do have a vendetta against Grun, so...
So what we will do is, at this point, as you guys are making your way back towards Stephanie, it's probably about as good point as we are going to get to take our mid-session break, top off our drinks and whatnot. So off with a welcome back to King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard, who has finally made his return to join us for a while here. And looks like we might be getting somewhere with these strange eggs that Gizzard stole all that time ago. Wonder what'll happen now that they're back together.
Okay.
And with that, thank you very much. Again, I'm going to take a quick 3 to 7 minute break somewhere in there, top off our drinks, all that fun stuff. Don't forget, Friday night we have our Storm King's Thunder campaign picking back up this week. And next week, all week long, we have our 1 year streaming birthday, so to speak, giveaways on Monday night with a surprise giveaway that you'll hear more about the end of this week. And I believe something is planned for Friday night as well. So it's definitely going to be interesting. We will be back shortly and see how our group handles dealing with what appears to be a somewhat small army out surrounding the Shield Guardian that was just worshiping it peacefully until, a random lizard folk came out of a tree and the druid started beating on him. Well, let me rephrase. The barbarian punched him in the face and the druid attempted to beat on him and fell miserably. So with that, we'll be back shortly. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. And we'll be back soon.
night, everyone. As our group has traversed their way across trees, plains, and typhoons to find themselves now back at Stephanie. Quen, as you are under Stephanie, sitting next to a somewhat comatose or unconscious Melik, as you watch as Devaney is approaching rather rapidly, and behind Devaney, you see a somewhat familiar-looking lizard folk running a mile a minute towards you.
Devaney is going to be shouting, Malik, wake up. We might have a fight on our hands.
Seeing all this, Quen, who's sitting on the edge of Stephanie now, he just, he shoves Malik with his foot on his shoulder. He's like, wake up, come on, there's something happening.
What?
Wake up!
Up.
Hey, there's a weird lizard over there.
Holy, wait, that's Gizzard, right? That's not Dragonbait's not alive? No, that's Gizzard.
It is I. And it is you. Hello.
Quen breaks out into tears. And he's like,
slept, am I still exhausted?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
I think you have to do 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a full long rest.
Well then.
But I will say, well, actually, you didn't take any damage, so yeah. So you would have had a short rest, but need a long rest to get rid of exhaustion. Or a lesser resto.
Lesser resto,
I think so. Let me double check. I thought it did.
Man, let's just lesser resto.
Might be greater restoration.
I'd have to look at the spell list. It doesn't say on exhaustion. So I may be wrong on the which one, but... So as you guys have made your way back, Twala and Solana, were you making your way back as well?
Yes. Slowly.
Yeah, I'm just following the winded druid.
Do you want me to carry you? This is agonizingly slow.
Fine. If you can carry me, carry me. But be careful the
As you watched it, they're sort of, at this point, they're pacing you, keeping within like 10-15 feet.
Oh no.
Just outside of range of Dwala, because they see this large mount. Little bit behind you guys, but they're just sort of keeping pace and following you, the 4 of them.
I'm gonna go as far as I can and go, Quen, now would be the time to play Robot God. And I scream that to him.
Robot God? I'll have you know, it's not a robot.
Quen?
Okay, so Quen fishes out the matrix on it and tries to, fingle with it a little bit, like an IKEA manual.
Okay.
So this will take some time then. Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so go ahead and make, I'll say, make an Arcana check, Quen. Okay.
I'm really tired.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long, rainy day. Can't we just blow these things up?
Let's see here.
Well, they haven't actually attacked us yet.
Alright.
Gizzard's gonna take the little egg backpack off his back and put it safely under some brush near the canoe boat Stephanie thing.
So,
You
Quinn,
just
as you're
stay there.
looking at it, you're pretty sure you know how to use it. But you, from as you've had a little bit of time to sort of play around with it in your travels, you've had a little bit of time sitting here with it. You know that if you wear the control matrix, that you would be able to basically activate the Shield Guardian and take control of it, and basically have it march along and do what Shield Guardians do.
Okay, would I know if I had to quote unquote attune to it to make it work?
Yes, you would know that, and it does not appear such.
Okay. Well, Quan will take it and then put it around his neck like a really fancy necklace. He says, wow, this looks great on me.
On your head. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Why are you putting that like necklace?
Because it's an amulet, not a crown.
But that would make sense. Oh my god. I'm so tired.
Why don't you just have a seat, Selena? Here, you can have a seat in the Stephanie.
We're running away from these things. So
From these
fast.
things.
So fast.
Well, I told you there were things up there.
We were being sneaky. So sneaky.
I guess so.
Until Gizzard. Where's Gizzard? His fault.
Oh yeah, Gizzard. You have a lot of nerve showing yourself here now.
Right when the baby was about to come.
You know what? Just forget it. Just forget it.
I don't
Gizzard, I'm glad
understand.
to see you're the same, and something has happened that I missed. What's going on? Maybe
You think you can just come here when this egg is about to hatch and think everything's gonna be the same? Well, it isn't.
Can someone tell me what is happening right now? I am not accustomed to this level of emotion.
They are very confused.
I am confused.
He walked out of a tree. We don't know.
Well, maybe let's table this, because someone did mention getting attacked. Is that
Yeah, Devin will point towards
Got
the
my-
oncoming creatures.
My glaive pointed at these things coming towards us.
Oh, cool.
They'll draw her.
It's those frog things and two things that I don't know.
Yeah, do those things speak common?
Probably not.
Does
Doesn't
anything
look
speak
like
common?
they do.
I mean, okay,
Druidic? Undercommon?
See?
I'm gonna shout out in Undercommon. Stop! We don't want to fight!
Melik is gonna...
Okay. Let's see here. Only because I don't know what languages one of them speak, you get no response.
Okay.
cast tongues on himself and
Huh?
try... Speak words!
As you shout that out, you look as the grung and the small plant creatures turn to look at each other and then in your general direction.
Or they don't. You can just
Quick, tell them
Okay.
we don't want to fight them.
Yes,
And-
yes, hi, hello there. We're not really interested in fighting or anything violent or of that nature, so, if there's anything else you want to discuss, we're happy to do that, but otherwise, appreciate the space. Thank you, thank you.
And to those of you other than Melik, you hear a cacophony of strange croaking sounds coming from the grung, and what can only really be described as bark being dragged across, like two old, dried, sticks being dragged across each other. Slowly, that sort of crackling, grinding sound.
Oh, yes.
Melik, on the other hand, you hear two distinct voices both call out to you. Why here?
Why are we here?
You're still a ways away. They're calling off into the storm.
Why here? They said why here?
Tell them we're leaving. Now.
It's pretty loud with all the rain. Maybe you should, move up beside Tuala.
Okay, Melik is okay. If you think it's best, and then he's gonna get up and kind of slowly walk over beside and/or slightly behind
They keep
Tuala.
moving closer.
And as
Sorry,
you're stepping
what
up,
was
you
that?
notice the creatures are starting to move closer as well as you're moving up. And
Sorry.
again, you hear the same voices. Trespasser, why here?
Okay, well, leave.
Oh, sorry. We didn't mean to trespass, if that's what you think. We're actually just gonna go ahead and get out of here. So, we'll get out of your hair. Guys, we're apparently trespassing, so we should just, kind of get about it.
Are we leaving the shield garden behind?
Well, we
'Cause
got
that's
the
what we're here
matrix.
for.
We can always get it to follow us eventually.
We don't know the range on it, though.
We got the matrix. We can always try to get it to follow us eventually.
But if we leave, are we coming back for the shield garden?
Why don't we just have Quinn turn invisible and just kind of dip next to the shield guardian while we look like we're going the other direction, and then they can watch us do that while he comes around and gets the statue golem god.
Well, Quinn hears all this and he has an idea. I got it. He takes out Bookmark, and channeling a power from Bookmark, he's going to cast Dimension Door and teleport right next door to the Guardian.
Okay.
Okay.
You could do that.
Why did Gwen just disappear?
Why
told
didn't
him
I
to.
know that he could do that?
I didn't know you had to be right next to the shield garden to activate it.
Let's see here. So what is the distance on Dimension Door?
Which of these
500
500
creatures?
feet, mother of
500
mercy.
feet. Yeah.
So, okay, so I want everyone else to go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Which of these creatures objectively looks the tastiest?
Realistically, probably the frog.
Interesting.
I mean, unless you're
Noted.
really into roughage, then maybe the
That's it. If you need some fiber, the plant things are probably looking pretty good to you. But given gizzards love a meat,
I think I've had frog legs before. I don't know.
They're
okay.
good.
So even
I
over
did
the
this right.
din of the storm, Gizzard, Solana, and Tuala all hear a myriad of voices in Goblin cry out in the distance. Quen, you hear it quite loudly, as you've teleported right next to the Shield Guardian, there are still a group of goblins staring at the Shield Guardian.
I want to try and hide behind the Shield Guardian.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check. You are exhausted, so it is at disadvantage. And yeah, they are seeing right through you.
I
Well,
am
if they're
hungry.
dumb. I want to activate the Shield Guardian.
Okay.
Yeah. I mentioned for some
Nice.
fire.
So as Quen is using an action to now activate the Shield Guardian, what I am going to do
Do we know what it does yet?
is
Does anyone know what it does? No. Okay. Okay.
Quen is
I love
somewhat familiar with the with Shield Guardians
Yes, give the 13-year-old boy the giant robot to play with.
I love this book.
Okay, so Quen, I have now given you access to the Shield Guardian's character sheet.
Bitchin'.
And with that, as this thing is now starting to shudder to life and the goblins are screaming and pointing, I need you all to go ahead, click on your tokens, and roll some initiative for me. As this group, and I am going to run the similar creatures on the same initiative here. There is a lot of them.
Do I roll initiative for the Shield Guardian?
I will say for the take a look at the character sheet on it. I believe it is an action to control it on your turn. It doesn't move on its own.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we have you. Oh, you guys. Like I said, I'm just rolling all the like ones together. Come on, roll 20.
Who wants to be a greater aim?
Not me.
Not like
Okay.
Look, I'm a proud lizard.
I don't think it's not really necessary for this combat. But you could always turn into one yourself.
good.
Okay, and as we begin this, we are going to kick this off and turn down our storm just a little bit.
Save the frogs for me.
Okay. You mean to kill or to eat?
Both.
I mean, if I blast them with some fire, you might not want to eat them.
I'm
You
gonna
like
fry
your
him
raw,
for
right?
you. I'm gonna fry him for you.
Okay. So with that, we start out with the Grung, who have heard the screams of the goblins come out over the din, and not being sure what they are dealing with, are going to come after their nearest target. So the first one is going to come charging up on Tuala.
When he gets within 10 feet of me, I will use my reaction to make a melee weapon attack at him.
Oh, okay.
My pole arm.
So go ahead and make your attack as he is doing the same to you. And missing horrendously.
The character sheet is not responding. Hang on. Well, I might have to restart roll 20.
Yeah, we
Hang
got
on.
your
Okay.
video.
You're back.
Go ahead and restart, and then we'll have you make your roll at that point. In the meantime, we will take care of the other Grung, and we'll just have you do that when you get back. Okay, so this guy's going to move over here, and this one is going to take a... Actually, it's not going to do anything because it is out of range.
Did it go out? Oops, not you.
Then we have the other Grung coming up, and likewise having Tuala as the closest person in front of him at the moment. It's going to charge over there as well. And this one is actually
There we go. I got my attack from before. Finally went off.
okay. Oh yeah, that'll hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
I just realized that battle music is extremely loud, so we're going to turn that down just a little.
Do I add the elemental damage to these like reactionary attacks?
No, because it's part of the glaive on it.
Yep.
But it does not matter as you jab this off and this thing just collapses. But meanwhile, on the back, I need you, Melik, and you, Melik, Solana, and Devonay. I need you to all, the four of you, I need you to all make wisdom saving throws for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good for me.
Okay, ooh.
I'm so wise.
Okay. Okay.
Not a good day for your boy,
So-
oh man.
No, you're
Oh,
a
man.
little tired today, Melik, unfortunately. So, as the group of you hear this strange...
We all have
Almost-
disadvantage. Hang on. No,
No,
never mind.
that's...
It's rolled automatically.
Yeah, that... Well, it's rolled automatically, but you only have ability checks, not saving throws.
Oh, saving throws. Gotcha.
Yeah. So as you all notice this, the best way to describe this, think of like a frog chirping, how you get that quick little... This frog starts retching out this high-pitched cry. For the majority of you are okay. Unfortunately for Melik, who's a little tired at the moment, Melik, you are stunned until the end of the Scrung's next turn.
Cool.
And that will bring us over to Tuala.
Alrighty. I will attack the growing right in front of me here.
Okay.
I will growl.
Leave off the fanciful one.
That's one
Okay.
attack. 2 attacks. Ooh, crit fail on the second one.
There we go. Nuts. Come on. Okay. Let's see. So what is...
It does a 12
Okay, so...
for the first
Nope.
attack. Okay, and then I
Also, they
crit
both miss.
fail the second one.
Okay, and you've got a bonus left?
I can glaive half, assuming I don't like lose my weapon on the crit fail.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay.
You miss horrendously. We've never set up crit fails.
Okay. Then yeah, then I will as my
Wow,
bonus
what a
action.
benevolent DM that doesn't send crit fails.
Well, we never discussed it at session 0. If we had, that would have been embedded into Melik's head, but... As Melik is immediately beside.
I can't
Actually-
lose 2 horns.
As a instead of using the glaive haft, can I use my bonus action to shove Melik back behind me? Put myself between him and the grung.
Yeah, I'll say sure. As Melik is literally immobile, so it's easy enough for you to just sort of push.
Okay.
Although as Melik is stunned, I will say as you sort of push out of the way, Melik, you do fall over. You are going to start your next turn prone.
Oh boy.
But you're now safe and out of, well, at least as far as Tuala is concerned, safe and out of dangerous way.
Prone next to a corpse, just how I like it.
Technically, that
Set
corpse
lining
is
up for
10
the
feet
buffet.
away because I killed it with my glaive as it ran in.
Perfect distance.
Okay. So that will bring us over to Solana.
Alright, I'm
Who
gonna...
is Solana? You've just watched Tuala just sort of grab Melik and just shove backwards, and his Melik goes...
You okay there, Melik? Let's free action speak. That's fine with me. I'm gonna do Call Lightning.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it right. I think Gizzard wants to run. I don't want him to run. So I'm gonna call it at these 2 guys. What should I call it here? I don't know! I'm so bad at decisions! Hold on, let me think this through. Okay, I'll call it right here, between these 2 guys. I can't read what they are. Oh, bag of dodging. Big of
Fat veggie pygmy.
I can't read. I am so like zoomed out. And then
Yikes.
thorn. Okay. Okay, these two things. I'm gonna just call it lightning. Alright. Are you muted?
DM, you muted again. Come on.
Yeah.
Go ram it. Yeah, so I'm not wasting my effort on one of those saving throws. 'Cause even if they make it, they don't matter.
The Badger Pygmy is a very different creature.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I. Oh boy.
The other one makes it quite easily.
The thorny and
So
the
is-
badger pygmy. Okay. Alright, so.
It's a thorny Badger Pygmy. Now we're really getting out there.
Oh boy.
And something more tells me I'm going to have an angry message from my Friday Night DM.
Oh boy.
Okay, as one of these creatures
Fan art, anyone?
collapses-
Fan art?
It's got to include Gizzard. Gizzard's return tonight.
Yeah.
He has to be involved in that fan art somehow. And the other creature, and actually I didn't realize I had put the health bars on them, so I'm going to do that on the paper so y'all can't cheat. Okay. So it's the bolt crashes down, and you watch as one of these creatures is literally just starts to smolder and turn to ash. The other one you can watch as the lightning is crackling across its body, but it is still on its feet.
And I'm just gonna stay put, and that's it.
Okay. That'll bring us down to the group of goblins that are looking at Quen. So let's see here.
Thank you.
As we grab. Where are you, Goblin? There we are. Okay. So these guys are going to get. Oh my word! Come on, roll 20. Love me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so these guys are going to come up and start approaching Quen. The first one is going to come up here.
Oh,
Second one over here.
by approaching, get all tall in his business.
Third one's going to come up here. I don't think the fourth one can actually make it. No. Fourth one can only get over to here.
I have
So,
a question.
okay, go ahead.
Does the Shield Guardian provoke attacks of opportunity? Like if someone walks by my Shield Guardian, can I attack of opportunity them with my Shield Guardian?
I'll say sure for, you had one of them that's left melee range from it, so go ahead and make a melee attack with your Shield Guardian against this guy up in the north.
All right, so I want it to punch this guy here, this one.
It has to be the one in the north. That one is the one.
That one?
that's-
Okay.
Yeah, the other two that are on the left and right of you are both still within melee with it, so it wouldn't have triggered an attack of opportunity.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna punch that one.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an attack, and we'll see.
So he has multi-attack. Does that?
That's for an actual attack action.
Okay.
Reaction is just a single, but that will hit,
Okay.
and that is enough to just crush this one as it goes walking out of range to come up beside you. And then now at this point, the two that are on either side of you are both going to make scimitar attacks against you. They're both at advantage because they have you sort of pinned in there. First one in is 17.
That would normally hit, but my Shield Guardian gives me +2 to AC if I'm within 5 feet of it.
Okay. And then the second one is going to miss wide, and that will end their go. And
Wow, a boy and his robot. This is the best day ever.
And that'll bring us over to Malik.
who will spend his turn kind of wiggling one big toe like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill.
And that will bring us over to our next little
Oh, Vedra!
froggy.
Vedra pygmy. I see that now on the turn order.
Yeah, not what you were thinking.
How about that? Maybe I should zoom in and try to find stuff.
Okay. Sorry, folks, I was a little at loss for words there for a moment. With that, this is going to bring up our next little froggy type person. And they're going to move a little closer towards the group of you guys, but staying a little ways away. And let's see here. Looking at... Give me a second. I don't know what this does.
Probably bad.
I'm just gotta check abilities of some of the beasties I threw in here. That's what happens when you roll randomly on a live stream for creatures. And
So good.
come on. This is what happens when Roll20 wants to torture the Hey, there we go. Okay. So this, perfect. It's within 120 feet and 20-foot radius.
Ooh,
So,
sounds bad.
okay. Let's see. They are going to center this right over here. And that is going to be... It's 5 foot, 10 foot radius. It's a 15-foot radius.
I sense something bad coming because we're all hooped up
20-foot
together.
radius.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you are watching, and Solana, you are very familiar with what's happening right now.
Oh no.
As immediately all around you, the ground is starting to sprout thorny vines
Oh, come on!
all around your feet, your legs. This entire area is now difficult terrain.
I have advantage on saving things that are against plants that are magically created.
Good for just you.
Yeah, just me though. But,
And-
you know.
That will end its turn and bring us over to our next little friend here.
Yay, land.
Who, let's see. They're sort of middle of the road here. So we're going to have a couple of them head up this way. And this one down here is actually going to head over towards this. And that'll bring us to Devon A.
Well, I would like to do a fireball, but I'm deciding where the best place to put it would be. Yeah, so right above that dead, I believe it was that plant person.
Oh,
One square
okay.
to the north. It should get 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all 5 of them in that circle. And not hit Twala.
1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's a 25-foot radius, right?
20.
Oh. Okay,
I wish
so-
it was 25. I'd get more things, but just 20.
Stupid turn order. Okay, that'll hit. So go ahead and roll your damage. They have some dex saves to make.
And I will cast it at 5th level.
Whoa. Okay, let's see your damage before I decide if I'm even going to start.
Wasted.
Oh my goodness.
I was really scared when I saw that 7 for a minute. I love that spell now. Okay, so let's see if it's even worth checking these.
I don't have a 5th level
Okay,
spell.
yes. Yes. No. Okay, so. I'm not even going to. Come on, roll 20. Do apologize, folks. Roll 20 is not loving me tonight. So that guy instantly dies. This one instantly crumbles. And our roll 20 is being slow. Damage is going to be... Come on. Seven A gonna make things difficult, make me pull out 9 different sheets. Okay. Okay, so he fails. So that one's dead. And actually, I should have said that. I should have looked at this first, but come on. Okay. You can save as well, so let's see. Okay, so they have all failed. Okay. So, taking a bead from Quen, you do manage to wipe everything out in your area, as you can still see some of the bodies are smoldering. Now,
Not everything. There's still one beside Tuala that's still alive.
oh, whoops, no, I forgot to roll for that one.
Oh.
That's, what is, let me see, they have the same, it's +3. Okay, I'm assuming a 19 actually saves against your DC?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. So that means he takes half damage. That was 36. Now just 18. Okay. So there's him. So he is definitely in pain, but he is still on his feet. Then let's see here. Okay, anything else you'd be doing?
I'm going to stay where I am because I feel like I'm stuck in this area now. With all
Okay.
these spines.
Well, the spines are starting to recede as the creature that summoned them is no longer on its feet.
No longer. Oh, no, I'm going to stay where I am anyway.
Okay. And that'll bring us over to King Gizzard.
Alright. He's going to prep himself like he's running a race and spend a key point to use Step of the Wind. So he can dash as a bonus action. He's going to get right up in this thing's face. Was I unmuted? No, maybe I was muted. I'm not sure.
No,
Nope,
you're
you're not
good.
muted.
I'm good? Cool. Just wondering. And then, as he's running up, he's just going to take a leap at it and bite into it.
Okay. So go ahead and make your attack. Okay, that'll definitely hit. And as you watch this It seems to fall and go limp on the ground. One shot and it is crumples over.
Okay, in passing, can I use the rest of my movement to get to the next one I see and just kick it? Just lift my leg up and kind of, old wrestler style, boot to the chest.
Sure, why not? Go ahead and make a roll.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll definitely hit as well.
That's
So,
just the 10 points of damage.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah.
Just that.
Okay, come on, system. Okay, so we go. Okay. Yep. Okay. So, anything else you'd be doing?
Can I spend another key point to try and knock it prone? Must
Sure,
succeed
go
a
ahead.
dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Just grab his sheet, make sure this, oh no, same as the other. Okay.
That succeeds.
Okay, so as you try to knock it down, it seems to just sort of be a little sturdier on the ground than you anticipated, but... Okay. Anything else you'd be doing?
Oh no, and I start to spit out all the bark that I just consumed when I bit that other creature. That's my turn.
Okay. That brings us over to Quen, currently surrounded by goblins, Vegapygmy approaching, and the Shield Guardian.
Wow, geez, they're gonna be so sorry about this. So, just to clarify, so I can use my action to command the Shield Guardian to attack, right?
Let me just pull up the sugar. I'm pretty sure that's what it stated. I just want to make sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, come on.
It's not like I get an action and the Shield Guardian gets an action.
No, it's part of yours. It's basically, think of it like a mobile, as a mobile weapon, so to speak.
You were gonna say Mobile Suit Gundam, weren't you?
No, I was gonna say, think of it like Alphonse, but that would be what you were saying and not what I meant.
Right.
So yeah, it's So when you use your action to basically tell it to take an attack, to attack, it would then make it multi-attack, and it gets its 2 attacks.
Okay. So first I'm gonna swipe. I'm gonna command it to swipe the 2 Batiri goblins beside me with its big fists of
Okay.
justice.
So that'll hit both of them, and takes them both out without a problem.
Awesome. Can I climb on top of him and ride him on his arm, on his
Like sit on his shoulder?
arm? Yeah.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Athletics. I'm so bad at that. I can't skip up. Fine.
And no, with 3 unfortunately, you try to climb up and scamper. It's rainy, the metal's slippery. You're just sliding back down.
I'll try it when it's not raining and I'm tired. I try and save face. And that's my turn.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to our little Vegapygmy friend next to King Gizzard. And this guy is going to, let's see. Okay. So as all of a sudden, as you're foot has come up and kicked this thing, and it sort of reared back a little bit and then looked in your face. You watch as this creature looks at you and just start shaking, almost as a wolf or a dog getting out of water. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, King Gizzard.
Yikes.
Okay, so as you start to breathe in this deep, basically pollen plant substance, you are now considered to be poisoned, and actually that's at the start of your turn. So that will end its turn at the moment. That brings us, I think all of the green guys are dead. So you I can pull off of there. Our big friend over here, back at the top of the order next to Tuala. Is going to take another poke at him. So okay, actually this scrung is actually going to step around you, Tuala, staying within range, and coming over towards Devaney. And it's actually going to attempt to grapple you, Devaney.
Okay.
I need you to make, you can either do an athletics check or a acrobatics if you want to try to dodge out of the way.
Yay.
Wow, a 26. It's not. So as it tries to as it tries to grapple you, it fails miserably. And that will bring us over to Tuala.
Alright. I would,
Oh no. Okay.
I'm going to rage. And, activating my Storm Aura. It's still, like thunder and lightning storm, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So as this little creature darts around to the side, Tuala just kind of turns his head to track it, and his eyes crackle with lightning, and all of the sort of the blue illumination from beneath the rocky crags of his skin discharges this electrical pulse and just channels directly into this thing in front of him. I don't know what the save is for the dexterity save on this thing.
Oh, okay. So it would be your. Oh, I always flip these. It's proficiency, 8 plus proficiency plus what first? Plus your.
I don't have
we'll
a
say
spell
your
casting.
Yeah, so I'll say let's use your strength because that's your class ability.
Okay. Where am I here?
Or that'd
So
be
then
that's
it
8
would
plus
be
3 plus what?
Strength 4. No, 3. So 8 plus 6.
Okay. So plus 6, so 14. So they roll a dex save. It should be to 14. That's a 9, so that's gonna fail.
9.
Okay, so he takes 1d6 lightning damage.
Okay.
It's
Ooh,
5
nice
lightning
roll.
damage.
Okay, as you watch as it rears back and lets out this sort of sickening bullfrog-esque croak right at your face. So it's turned towards you.
Okay, so what I wanted to do, although it might be messed up by the fact that he moved, I basically wanted to like try and like charge forward in this direction, essentially just like clotheslining this little frog guy with me and like running as far as I would be able to with him and then slam him into the ground.
Oh, okay. So I'll say go ahead and make a strength-based attack. So you gotta make do it. So they're small enough so if you can hit, it's easy enough to do.
Alrighty, and I should have advantage on this because I'm raging.
Yep, because strength-based, so yeah.
So 18.
Okay, so that will definitely hit. So yeah, you can easily move him your full movement. And then we'll say for damage, you'll do 1d6 plus your strength modifier.
Okay.
And where are you ending up?
So I'm gonna. Oh crap! Hang on. I'll end here.
Okay, so we'll stick him down here. So then go ahead and roll your 1d6 plus your strength modifier. Okay. And now I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay.
Okay, so you are fine. You slam this creature into the ground and sort of right yourself. You feel a sort of thick layer of almost like a mucousy slime on your arms from where you were dragging this frog away. Anything else you'd be doing on your turn?
No, I'm all out of stuff I can do.
Okay, and that'll bring us over to Solana.
Alright, I think that all my when it says words call lightning, I can call it as an action, but that doesn't use a spell slot again, right?
Right, if you cast the spell, that's one spell slot.
Okay.
Then basically, as long as you maintain concentration, you can use your action to call it down.
Okay, I'm gonna
As many
cast
times as
it
possible.
at this chief dude.
Okay.
So why? Oh, I'm on the wrong pointer. This dude, I'm gonna cast on.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your attack. Okay. And as you're calling it down on him, so he needs to make a dexterity saving throw, and I believe that's a 5-foot radius, correct?
Ah, yes, I meant to call it like right next to him. So Gizzard wouldn't have to do it.
That's alright, I'll take it.
Okay.
Gizzard, I gotta ask you for it. It's
Sorry, Gizzard.
she called it on your head.
I meant to do it right next to it, and I totally just, yeah.
With his poison conditions, do I get disadvantage on saving throws, or is that just attack rolls and
let me-
ability checks?
I just feel awful now.
Let me check.
You know, that's what you get for showing up and ruining the battlefield flow.
Alright,
Okay, let's
I
see
get it.
here. Come on, roll 20.
I'll just make the save.
Yeah, go ahead and make the save. I'm pulling it up to double check because I never remember poison. And it's... Okay, attacks and ability, not saving.
Alright, cool. That's
Okay,
half damage with...
13, so that is not going to hit. So you take 17 points of damage.
Oh,
half
Oh, wait,
is the,
it's
marked
storming.
evasion. Yeah.
Roll your other d10.
oh, me?
Yeah, because it's lightning storm. You get extra damage out of it.
Oops.
Okay.
Oh, only 3. That's fine. Alright, you're fine.
Okay, so that's a total of 20, so you take 10 damage. And then the Vegapygmy Chief is a 17, so he
How
saves.
does he save?
He's grounded.
I turn around. I turn around and I yell.
Plant elf, stop hitting people
Sorry.
with lightning!
And I'm going to, healing word Gizzard then.
Yeah, what's the range on Healing Word?
Oh, stupid rangers and
Oh boy.
60 feet. Can I
Oh,
move?
so he
then
is
do
within
that?
range.
Oh, he is? Okay, good.
Yep.
No, I'll just stay stacked up with everyone else, you know, because that's the smart thing to do. Okay, that's cool.
Thanks.
Okay.
You're
So
welcome.
that'll bring us over to
Welcome back.
the goblins. There's only
It's been so
one.
fun.
There's only one left, so it's gonna circle around over here by Quen, and it's gonna take its one shot at Quen with its dagger. On roll 20. Keep grabbing an empty bottle. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a dagger, it's a scimitar for these guys. Okay, and that is a 5, so that is definitely not going to hit Quen.
Yeah.
That will end its turn as Melik, you have control of your body once more.
All right, let's get the fight going. Really excited to be a part of it, guys. Melik is gonna stand up, which will, I guess, be his movement. And he's going to pull out his hand crossbow. And he's gonna shoot. Yeah, I think it's coming back now. He's gonna shoot this old boy right here. The one that's in front of Tuwala.
Okay, so go ahead and take your shot.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and use that nat 20. Because
Oh,
obviously there are not gonna be any grifts happening in this particular episode. And, I mean, if I get one shot, I get one shot.
Okay, so that is definitely going to hit then. So go ahead and roll your damage, or roll your damage twice. So 5 in the first one, roll it a second time.
Okay, 13.
Okay. Oh, so it doubles the... yeah, that's right, 13. I can't add. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, that's... I apologize. No, it's 12 because you don't... Yeah, you don't roll the 3 twice. That's still, as you watch, as this thing takes a massive shot as Tuwala, as it's half crouched on the ground in front of you, as it now has a... what appears to be, for the size of this rung, a rather massive crossbow bolt embedded in its chest.
Is it still alive?
It's not dead.
It's not dead, it's still on its feet, it's just very badly injured.
And before my turn ends, I'm just gonna... Oh boy, how loud is this storm? Do you think Tuwala will be able to hear me if I yelled from here?
Yeah,
20 feet?
it's loud, but it's not making it impossible to communicate.
Okay, well, Melik is gonna yell at Tuwala. Thought I was gonna kill Stelia. This is less impressive that I didn't, but you got the rest of them. Go get him, buddy, and take a little die of inspiration.
Okay. D6 or D8?
It's a D8.
D8. Crap.
Okay, with that, it brings us back to our Vegapygmies. So as we go around and find him here, the first one here is going to... Come on. You who roll 20, respond. Sorry, folks, for loving roll 20 right now. Or my computer, I can't tell which is which. Hey, there we go. Okay, so this guy is going to again circle up this way and then circle around over to Quen. And is going to take a pot shot at Quen. And it's going to be a claw attack to Quen, and that's a 14. I don't think that's going to hit with the Shield Guardian near you. Is that correct, Quinn?
It does not hit me.
Oh, okay. Now, Gizzard, as you're dealing with this Vegapygmy in front of you, you start hearing a strange sound coming from behind you as the creature you had just bitten that collapsed to the ground sits up, and as it charges up behind you, taking a rake at your back with its claws.
I see it coming and I just stick my hand out against its head.
Oh, okay. And you would be correct, sir, because I deleted the other one that got vaporized, and that was the one that had it on initiative. So we are just going to assign this an initiative. Wait a second. We're going to put it at a 9. We'll put it after this one. Good. Hey! Did it for me!
Whoa! 9.
So give me a second. We're just going to recycle this real quick. Apparently I forgot about that thorny, so this guy gets up. Okay. Twala, as you were dealing with this grung warrior beside you, likewise... Actually, no, this one does not. This one was the first one down. So this one gets back up. And this one is going to come charging behind Twala as it stands back up. And takes a swipe at the back of Twala for a 15.
I should know this by now. That does hit.
Oh, okay, so that is 3 damage as it runs up behind you and just rakes its claws against your back. And that'll end there, go. That'll bring us over to this thorny that is just below Gizzard that is going to charge up and finally join the fray. And this one, as it comes charging up, and in true Gizzard fashion, is actually going to try to bite Gizzard. And that's a
I
10. I
put
don't
my leg up against its head. Just got my leg and my arm outstretched, balancing on one leg.
And that'll bring us over to Devon A.
Alright, I gotta get closer to everybody. How far can I run? Yeah, so I'll go over there. Wrong mouse. And I am going to do... okay, so the creatures around Gizzard, which was the one that came back to life? Or...
the one on the right-hand side closest to you.
Okay.
Likewise, there's one just to your right above, next to Tuala that came back to life as well.
Okay.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, seeing as how fire worked pretty good in the past, I'm going to do a firebolt at the one by Tuala.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and make your attack. That will definitely hit. So go ahead and roll some damage. Okay. As you watch as it is definitely smoldering. Oh, actually, never mind. I misdid my math. As you watch, as that, much like it did a few moments ago, it falls and collapses to the ground.
But how do we know?
Fireball works,
Find out.
so let's try this. And I still haven't proper attack action, so I'm going to run over to that grung and hit it. Actually, no,
No,
I
just-
can't because I moved all my move.
Yeah, and Firebolt's an action to cast.
You're right, it is. Okay, good. That's where I'm staying.
Okay.
I see her think about attacking my grung, and I say, "Don't!" Mine!
I back up.
That gives an involuntary 5-foot movement away. And that'll bring us over to the boy and his robot.
Oh my gosh, this is the best Christmas ever. So I'm gonna command this robot to punch the Batari goblin beside me.
Okay, so that'll hit. And immediately just crushes it. And you've got some lovely goblin jelly on the ground beside you.
Wonderful.
Great.
And then I'm gonna command him to move. For some reason I can't move. Next to the Vegapygmy, and then use second attack to punch the Vegapygmy.
Okay, there you go. I had him on the wrong layer. Now you can move him.
Cool.
Okay, so that'll hit as it's moved, and you watch as the small plant creature collapses on the ground as well.
Gwen will keep an eye on that that walking vegetable, because he saw what happened last time. And then he's gonna move away from it. And then his robot friend is gonna go over here too.
It's already used its action. You wouldn't be able to order it to follow you again.
Okay. Its move action is separate.
Yeah, you can give it an action to obey, and that's what it'll do on that turn.
Gotcha.
So it was basically attack these two, so it punched one, took the one step, punched the other, and then it's basically done until the next run.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yeah, so that'll bring us over to KGTL Dubs.
Alrighty. So with the arm and leg outstretched, balancing on one leg, he's going to use that to kind of jump up and kick this pygmy in the chin.
Which one?
The one that has a little crown underneath.
Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and make a roll for us.
Disadvantage.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely hit. Okay, so as you slam your foot into it, is definitely hurting, but it's still on its feet.
As he lands back down, he's going to try and bite into its shoulder area.
And,
Jeez.
actually, and I forgot at the beginning of your turn, because of your poison
Yeah,
state,
take that damage. Yep.
2d8. That is 6 points of damage to you. And as you bite into it, it collapses on the ground in front of you.
Delicious. That was exactly the same rolls for everything then. That's a bit weird. Yeah, I'm going to spend a key point to do some flurry of blows.
Okay,
So I'm
where
gonna
are you
take
going with it?
Ooh, gonna keep my leg up, and with the hand I've got in the head of the veggie pygmy, I'm just gonna reel it back and give it like a side fist into the face.
Okay. That is
Like
not
horrible.
gonna hit. As you
Fall
pull your
on my
hand off,
face.
all of a sudden you're
Kind of regained a little bit, then just quick like poke in the eyes.
that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Am I still disadvantaged? Yeah, I think I am. Yep.
Oh yeah, because of the poison. Never mind.
Struggling to keep my balance as I've got one leg up, and whoa, whoa. That's my turn.
Okay, so that'll bring us back over to this Vegapygmy, who once more sits back up and looks over at you. And and then proceeds to
Oh,
take
do I get to make a save against this poison condition?
Oh, against the poison, yes. Thank you. Okay. And you start to shake off the feelings here. And with that, this Vegapygmy reaches around back and pulls out this long wooden, looks to be a spear. He's going to take 2 shots at you with it. First one's a 21. Second is a 9.
First will hit.
So that is 5 points of piercing damage. As this thing sort of grazes your leg as it thrusts out with the spear. Then it will stay where it is. And that will bring us over to the Grung that is currently enraptured in battle with Tuala here. And it's going back and forth, and after being dragged this way by Tuala, it is actually going to leap into the air and try to, basically it's jumping at your face, Tuala. Okay. And trying to drive you into the ground, much as you did to it. So it is going to make a strength-based attack against you. Oh, we're just going to roll a strength check here. And that's a 9, so it tells me that is not going to hit.
Is that against my AC, or do I make a contesting strength roll?
No, it would be against your AC, because basically
Okay,
it's trying
no,
to jump
that-
up and like
that does
punch
not
and
hit.
kick you, so... Yeah, so it's... So that is going to fail miserably. And that is going to end its turn. And that brings us to Solana.
Man, should turn into a giant ape or conjure Tom Petty.
You have been talking about that giant ape thing all night. Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn into a giant ape. I don't know how to do this.
She's going ape. She's going ape.
Unless you
Okay.
can turn into a giant ape, Malik. Because you're standing next to me.
Yeah, no. I've been very happy sitting this fight out so far. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn into a giant
Okay.
Also, I never want to be a monkey again. One time was enough.
But it wasn't just a monkey, it was a baboon.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so let's see here.
I just looked, I don't think
Okay.
we've got giant ape on there.
So let's see. I don't think I have an image of one, but I have a character sheet that I can grab, I think.
Oh, you do? Okay. I wasn't
think.
sure where to look exactly.
Hey! We have...
I got the giant ape hasn't
Giant
set a
ape.
profile picture on its Facebook.
Yeah. And give me a second. We are giving Solana access to this.
Probably do as a GM, I just don't know where to look.
That is a very valid point, but...
Oh, I got it. Okay, you gave it to me. I got it. Except it's blank.
So if we save, and then if you actually open the character sheet and then scroll down to the bottom, it should be in there.
Or bio
Of course.
cells. It
Nope,
says actions.
Really, it didn't pull up?
No.
Okay, so never mind, that didn't work.
Okay.
So we'll have to fix that for next time.
Okay, I'll just.
Um,
So.
yeah, so for the time being, go ahead and just use Solana's token. I'll get rid of that other one momentarily. And then for Giant Ape, it's a
40 foot.
+9 to hit.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So you don't want help with your Grung Elite Warrior?
Does that come out as?
Yes, this is true. Okay, but I get a 10-foot reach I'm gonna make 2 fist attacks against this guy.
Okay.
Because
So
I can.
go ahead and make your punches.
Um.
Like I said, a +9 to hit.
Okay, so let's do 9. 24.
Okay, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your second.
24.
Holy crap!
This is like
Alrighty
this is like
then.
evolution all over again. Some giant ape coming and taking over all
Alright,
the lizards.
So that is 3d10 plus 6. That's
Okay. 17 for the first one.
so the first one crushes it down into the ground.
Oh. Okay.
So if you want, you
Thus,
can move and make a
guacamole
hit
was
against the second.
I can't move, but can I make one against this one since it's range of me?
Sure. Go ahead and roll another d20 plus 9.
Okay. I'm really lazy to like take me out. Ooh, that might not hit.
Okay. And actually, I believe that will just barely hit.
Okay.
Let me just check here. Okay.
Does it?
Yes, that will hit. So go ahead and roll some damage. Okay. And as you watch as you splatter Grung corpse on Tuala, you are just sprayed with remnants of this frog as this massive ape has just put its fist through the back of it.
Ew.
On that note, Solana, I need you to make a Constitution save for me. That's a D20 plus 4 for the Great Ape.
Okay. What? I'm great ape! Crap!
So you are now poisoned for the next minute.
Great. Okay. And
And that will bring us along to Tuala.
Do I have to make the con save because I got hit by Grunguts?
You know what? I'll say sure. Why not?
sorry. In the ape, I might.
Here's where it gets more interesting.
Yeah.
How does Tuala respond? Is he may not know you're the ape.
Oh yeah.
He just sees giant apes steal his kill.
Oh,
And you, on the other hand, Tuala, are all set.
Okay.
It's your burning rage at this massive ape stealing this creature from in front of you.
So I had been
So sad.
locked in combat with this Grung, and he had this like maniacal expression on his face as he like prepared, shifted his glaive to the side and drew one hand back, and was preparing to punch Melek's crossbow bolt the rest of the way into its chest. And as he rears back this punch and goes to do it, and the great ape steals him at the last second, he just like a look comes over his face for just a moment, as if like he came downstairs at Christmas and opened up his present, and his parents had gotten him a puppy, and then a guy in a hockey mask had like kicked through the front door and stomped it to death with a pair of golf cleats.
Oh God!
He just looks, and then he just looks at the great ape.
That went really dark, Matt. What the hell?
Love that the analogy is that this kid go crazy on Facebook. Like,
Okay. Well, you're gonna hit me.
We're gonna let fate decide.
You're one of my 3 favorite DMs. Have I told you that?
Okay. So, having heard you going on about great apes for the past half a day, he assumes it's Solana. And he just yells, my character. He just goes,
Oh, we will discuss this later, plant elf.
and I'm going to move over here.
See?
And I would like to reckless attack with my glaive.
Okay.
So with advantage,
Oh, holy hell.
I'm gonna just roll all my attacks because regardless of if it dies halfway through, he's gonna keep swinging.
Okay.
That's the second attack. That's glaive halved.
Hey man, we're gonna have some great fertilizer after this.
So
No meat for Gizzard, only like spread.
and hang on.
And that is none of that takes into account the rage damage.
And 2 more rage
That's
damage.
it,
Yeah.
Gee, as this thing is literally crushed to the ground and is cleaved in half. As Gizzard, as you're watching as Dwala is just literally repeatedly hacking into this creature that seems to be getting back up, but you now notice its body is in 2 pieces on the ground.
It doesn't look like there was any meat on that anyway.
Careful.
That will bring us to the goblins, which are all dead. And that brings us over to Melikov in the background, back by Stephanie.
I mean, at this point, like, he is so laid back. I mean, he's gonna take that hand crossbow back out. And, this old boy's still alive, right?
Where are you? No, like where are you looking? There's one just beneath Gizzard.
Yes, okay. I was trying to ping it, but in any case, he's gonna shoot that one.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll.
Against all odds. Does that hit?
Okay, that will actually hit. Let's go ahead and
Oh, cool.
roll some damage for us. Okay. Gizzard, as you are dealing with this and you see everything going on, this creature in front of you all of a sudden now has a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
Move my foot off it just to make sure my leg doesn't get hit.
It's all good, bro.
Anything else you're doing, Malik? Staying where you are?
Yeah, man. I mean, Melik's just gonna kind of lay back in the grass at this point. Y'all got this.
Really?
Okay.
No, not really. Metaphorically, in his head. He's on a beach.
Oh,
Okay, and with that, once more, the Vegapigme behind you, Gizzard, finds its way to slowly crawl up to its feet. And then standing behind you is going to take another swipe at you with its claws.
I knew I should have been an elemental monk.
And that is a 14 to hit.
That does not hit. Hand comes out
Okay.
again.
And that will end its turn. And then bring us over to the Thorny beneath you, who's going to once more reach out and attempt to bite you. That's an 18 to hit. I don't think
The
that'll
leg
hit you
goes
either,
back
right?
on the head. No, leg goes back on the head and I'm balancing on one leg again.
That'll bring us over to Devon A. Currently you're seeing a giant ape, which actually is a huge creature.
Oh my god. That's terrifying. Fauna should never be that thing.
Wow, eat your greens.
Yeah.
So, Devaney, as you've seen this massive giant ape come stomping from behind you, it's currently in between you and Gizzard. What are you trying to...
Okay, I'm going to move closer. And I'm going to shout, if you guys move, either Quinn and I can fireball them. They keep popping back up. Otherwise, we're just going to hit you again. And I'm going to do a firebolt at the one that just popped back up.
Okay. Just go ahead and make your attack roll. Okay, so that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yep.
And once more, just as before you watch as the body starts to sort of smolder, and it collapses onto the ground. Anything else Devaney would be doing?
No, that's it.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Quen.
So which ones have been arrowed with fire? This one has just now.
I'll say go ahead and make a perception check. Given you were involved in a battle with the goblins early, I'll say make it a disadvantage. Yeah, you're not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You know that one that just got shot is. You don't know if the one's up to the north or the one behind you. You're not sure. I actually forgot about the one behind you over there. I will say you're pretty sure this one back here beside the Shield Guardian has not been because you were the one fighting it.
Right. Okay. Well, I only have one real fire spell right now because I'm role-playing. And that's Fireball. So, sorry, Gizzard.
That's
in
fine.
advance.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna center it right here. Oh, that won't.
No damage.
Yeah, so that's 20 feet. That'll hit all three of those pygmies and Gizzard.
Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so they've got to take their dex saves. Okay, so that's going to fail. And... Okay. So
See, I knew that already. I knew you could.
Okay, and with that, that takes care of those three. Anything else you'd be doing?
No, that's fine. No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. So that will bring us along over to King Gizzard, who is actually that's that one as well. As all three of the creatures you were just engaged with are now smoldering on the ground.
Kind of blow some sparks off my scales. I turn to look at the big soft one.
Are there any more?
There's one behind me.
Just out of character, I do not see one behind you at all.
This one right here.
There's an X on it on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep going down, and I forgot I had my screen shifted. That one,
okay.
we'll do this. We'll rewind a little. Quen, go ahead and make. No, actually, no, because you would have used your action to do. Next, it takes actions orders from you. So I'll say go ahead and make a single attack with it, as this thing would have run up and attacked you as well.
Okay. Can the Shield Guardian make a reaction?
Yep. So as it's passing and attacks at you, it will get to make its reactionary as well.
Yet.
It should have done it a moment ago or before, but okay. So that's a 9 to hit that, so it will hit it.
Oof.
And that's a 14 to hit you. Will that hit?
No, that won't hit.
Okay. Then as it strikes and it'll collapse. And at this point now, you guys can see Quen is pointing directly behind him. There's another one of those creatures that looks to be crushed on the ground.
I'm like, ew, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And then I want to step away from it, because you said that's retconned?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it should have been up there and attacking you right afterwards, but...
Okay, then I'm gonna step away from it, and I'll be like, ew, gross.
I'm not seeing any immediate threats. Gizzard's gonna start sniffing at the corpses on the ground, seeing if there's anything worth eating. And that's gonna be his turn.
Okay.
Oh, we got
With the giant ape, there's
Fine.
all sorts of little things around you, and a bunch of crushed things on the ground.
Can I just step on everything? Like dance?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go over here and dance on everything that I can.
Okay, go ahead and make a, I guess I'll say make a performance check. Why the hell not?
I had a -2 charisma as an ape, so hold on.
And a poisoned ape, so it's disadvantaged.
Oh, okay.
Oh jeez, this is like me dancing.
Oh yeah, no, I look horrible.
Yeah, this is the most awkward thing any of you have ever seen. This is like drunk Irish guy at a wedding awkward.
Gizzard cringes a little.
I'm like, hey guys, look at me, I'm an ape. It's great.
Okay. I'll bring us to Tuala.
Okay, since there's nothing for me to do damage to here, my rage will end. So he kind of... And he just kind of takes one look around, gives like a disdainful look towards the giant dancing monkey, and just stalks off in this direction.
Okay. And that will bring us over to Melik then. Melik, there is a massive monkey dancing on the corpses of small creatures.
I'm so tired. Basically. Wow. Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to talk the entire time to everyone because I don't realize I'm a giant ape. I'm like, guys, I'm doing this just for our assurance. This is for the greater good.
Yeah, just hooting and hollering. Are any of these boys still alive?
I'll say go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm an ape. I don't know. These things.
You think you heard somebody yell that they needed to be killed with fire, but there's a giant ape dancing in the middle of the area, and you're not sure really if whether or not all of them have been burnt or yet.
Okay. Second question. The dancing ape is just because that's what Solana wants to do. She's okay. She's not like charmed or something, right?
I'm poisoned.
You can make an Arcana check if you'd like. As the ape is sitting there.
She's something.
Yeah, pretty much.
It doesn't seem to be under the impact of any magical influence beyond the polymorph spell that you can tell.
Solana, do you have a fire spell? You know what? Never mind.
I got 2
Malik-
actually.
Not well, she's an ape.
I got
Malik
3.
is gonna cast suggestion. Solana can hear him, right?
Yes.
Let me see. So, let's see. A sentence or two.
Why are we
Creature's
suggesting this?
suggestion. Target make a wisdom sit. Huh.
Because you need to get off of these things.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say that Melik would probably not cast this, only
Okay.
because I think Melik would know that you need to be the creature needs to be able to actually understand what you're saying to it.
Which
And
an ape can't understand words, or
nope, an ape does not
No.
speak any language or doesn't understand any language.
I can help
man, you
you.
are just.
I mean, now Melik would also know that again from an arcane standpoint, polymorph is a concentration spell.
That's fair. Malik is gonna shoot her.
Okay.
So, because for some reason, as a devil, he don't even have any dang fire spells.
That is definitely gonna hit the monkey.
So, he's just gonna aim like for a, just like that light shoulder meat, just enough to kind of be like, yep. But come on, man.
Solana, go ahead and make a concentration save.
There's a time to party.
As an ape?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, don't worry, it's a +4.
Is it? Is it a D20 plus 4?
D20 +4 for a constitution save for grade 8.
Oh yeah, that's great!
And you fail. So as the arrow sinks into the ape, Solana, you lose the concentration on your spell.
Okay, and I deflate.
And immediately you deflate back to standard Solana
I
size.
go,
The great ape has a +4 on a wisdom save?
It's
Ow!
not wisdom, it's constitution for
Oh, constitution.
yeah, to save.
I was about to say, like, that ape's wiser than I am. Goddamn.
Go Malik! What the hell?
Hey man, you can't set off the party alarm until the fight's over. We gotta set these things on fire.
I was trying to make sure that they were dead!
We gotta set them on fire to make them dead.
I did not know that! Why'd you shoot me?
Well, because you couldn't hear me when you were a monkey.
Guess what? Throw a torch on them!
Yeah, I could have done that. But this was better. Good thinking, though. And
With
as I
that-
say,
I'm with idiots.
good thinking, I guess. Here's a little bonus first level healing word for you, so
Thanks.
don't be salty about it.
Okay. Okay.
Given that all the damage is taken by the ape, you are absolutely fine.
Oh, okay, that was damage taken by the ape. Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
still
because
give
it
it
wasn't
to you.
enough to have it. It wasn't enough to pass through to you.
Okay.
Just enough to knock you back down to yourself, but it still hurts like the dickens you took
Yeah,
a crossbow to the shoulder.
but that healed me from being something the other time, so I'm... Oh, when Gizzard opened the tree, I got knocked
Oh,
over.
that's right, yeah.
So you healed me from that, thanks.
No problem,
So-
bud. Now get away from the corpses.
Okay.
So that'll bring us up to this little Veggie figure that is going to give chase once more after Quen with what's left of its movement and take another swipe with its claws.
Oh,
And,
like that, now, like...
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna type it
okay.
out because why pull up the sheet?
Ooh.
Okay, that is a 20 to hit.
That'll do it.
Sorry, 24. So that is a crit. So we have a 2d6 plus 2. Okay, and that is 11 points of damage as this thing comes running up behind you and just rakes the claw across your back as you started to move away from it.
Ouch! Ow, ow. I transfer half of the damage to my shield guardian.
You're loving this thing.
Okay. And that'll bring us over to Devon A.
Alright, I would like to do another fireball because I want to make sure this thing dies. And I found a spot where I'm not sure if I can with my laptop, but I found a spot where it would only hit the Vegapygmy and not Quen or the Shield Guardian.
You're a better person than I.
There is a spot that it's just on the edge. So I would like to do that fireball.
Okay.
I think it's 1 square above where you have it. 1 square north.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll. Rather, roll your damage, I should say.
And for good measure, I'm doing it as 4th level.
Okay.
Bye.
And with that, the last creature has been burned, and you are out of initiative.
Guys, I've got like so many fire spells. Why didn't you tell me that?
Well, you were right beside me when I yelled it, I believe.
Was I paying attention to you?
And for the
Probably
second
not.
time, you were a monkey. So,
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, I said it a couple times, I think, but I guess Devin was one of the only ones actually paying attention.
I was really focused on being a Oh, I gotta run from Tuala, don't I? I'm gonna go hide under Stephanie.
I'm not the one that hits people with fireballs or lightning spells
Oh,
or steal skills, I guess.
I'm gonna hide under Stephanie and just stick my tongue out.
don't
at
you
Stephanie.
dare hide under Stephanie.
Okay, I'll hide under the tent that I pocketed from Malik over here.
Okay, so as you guys have finished mopping up everyone's, interrupting a small religious ceremony and
Yeah, that was great.
stealing control of their deity.
Oh my god, we murdered everybody at a goblin christening, you guys.
whatever. I tried to do the right thing.
I was just following the egg. I led him to Gizzard. So, yeah. Oops.
Yeah, what was up with that? Well,
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out next week, as we are already 30 minutes over.
Ooh.
So before we disappear, I want to say thank you again to for hanging out with us this evening. Welcome back to King Gizzard for returning back to us, as our group has obtained control of the Shield Guardian that they promised to obtain for the merchant Prince Wakanga in Port Nyanzaru. What will our party do next? Will they bring it back to obtain the spellbook? Will they risk angering a merchant prince?
That's a bad thing. No. No.
And,
I have 2
Yes.
nominations.
oh,
Either
step
Gizzard
ahead.
either for Gizzard for coming back or Tuala's Why Gizzard?
Wise Gizzard.
I have a nomination for Solana for living her best life and living her dreams, and
Being-
just great aping, no matter what, whether it made
Man.
sense or it helped. She followed her heart.
I was gonna say the same thing, but standing your truth and living in her bliss went great ape and let me shoot her, which was super fun.
You did shoot me.
And we also have a vote from Digitio saying we know we got DM's inspiration for it, but I absolutely loved Tree Demon.
Yeah, that and Y Gizzard, that was pretty good.
Okay, so what we'll do, I don't know which one of you had it more recently. I don't think Matt has gotten the Nat 20 as of
never
yet.
got it.
So what
don't
we'll
think
do this
so.
week is we will give it to Matt for next week. So Matt, keep a note. Remember, you have a free Nat 20 for use next week.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you, Digitio, for chiming in with that one. That was the tipping vote. Don't forget to join us on Friday night for the continuation of Storm King's Thunder that Sarah and I are in with DM Michael, as we are finally going to find out what's
And
going on
Gizzard.
with... Oh, yeah, I forgot he's back. He's only been back a night. And JJ, who, as we finally find out who the sorcerer Useth is, and what's he going to give us?
I've been
Or
there.
you to
I
us.
don't know.
And then our friends over at Insight Check, you can find them on Twitter and Twitch Saturday nights at 9:30 with Christy from our Friday night game as well. And then, of course, all of us here every Monday night for you. So before we take off for the evening, anyone else have anything before we go? JJ? Anything?
Nope. No, I do. September, I will be running the new Order Deep Dragon Heist campaigns. For anyone interested, head over to Twitter at This Is Awkward, or you can look up the Proficiency bonus Twitter and I don't know, message me or message Michael and get in touch with us, and you'll get a link to the application form. I'm really excited to be running it. It's going to be so cool. I've been waiting for it forever now.
Cute. Have you decided on a day?
Still up in the air, but with the application you can put in your own days of availability, and it can all be worked out from there. So I know what's going on. It's just a matter of my schedule, which is a bit up in the air at the moment, but it will be happening.
So as we part for this evening, always remember, whether you are a giant ape dancing on the corpses of your enemies, or a strange barbarian punching a lizard who is materialized from a tree, whatever you need to do, remember to add your proficiency bonus. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.